Okay. First of all, I'm really sorry, guys. I just got some time today. So I work as a product operations engineer. So it's very hard for me to get some time, in the evenings. But yeah, today I got some time, and I just wanted to clarify the doubts about the bot and other things, right? So because I have been getting multiple, requests, and to be very honest, I haven't responded to them. So I felt very sorry for that. So I just wanted to give the information on to the what bodies and how do you trade and other things. So yeah, just to start with this. Sorry, I think. Okay, so it is asking me to quit and reopen the Zoom for sharing the screen. So I'll be just quitting and rejoining. Is it fine?
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be just back. Okay, sure. Yeah. So basically, what we have is we have written a set of scanners which will scan the stock based on the direction, whether it might be a put or it might be a call, right? So it might be a bullish stock or bearish stock. So we have our own proprietary scanners which we run it through Python. So we run it through Python on the set of stocks what we have, and whenever we hit a bullish stock or a bearish stock, it will put into database. So from the database, what we have is we take from the database and then we make our decision. So these decisions are based on, again, the set of rules what we have set. Say, for example, just to give you an example, right? So in past 2 days, we have got around, 350 to 400 stocks, which are bullish or bearish. So the thing is we have it in the database. We have another bot which will read from the database and make a decision based on set of rules what we have. So even in this, whether it might be bullish or bearish, we have a set of rules, XYZ rules. And based on that, it will say, it's good to go. For example, like let's see, we got an alert for NVIDIA put, right? So based on the decision, it will say, we can go ahead and take the NVIDIA put. So once we get that result, we have another decision which has to be taken based on the options. Say, for example, there are a lot of stocks which has options. Options are, it is very risky. And another thing is if you buy a stock option, which is a widespread, you are supposed to lose the money over there. Say, for example, I can give you some examples. So, for example, Adobe, right? So we got a Adobe put, alert. In that Adobe put alert, so we have to decide which one to take based on few more decisions. So I cannot just go ahead and take in the money or out of the money. So because even if I'm taking out of money, what is my probability, right? Because if I take a stock option which is out of the money, and in next 2 days or the same day, if I don't hit the target, the delta kicks in, and I might lose the money whatever I have put in. So we have some set of rules for picking the options as well. So next will be the options decision. So that will be decided by algo again. So once we have all these decisions and we pass the decision, we go and take the trade actually. So now again, a lot of people ask me whether it should be a day trade or swing, right? So the thing is we cannot predict the market. Whether the stock is going to hit the target today itself or tomorrow, we don't know, right? That's the reason we have a target and stop loss. So based on that, you can take the trade. So there are a lot of people who ask me, say for example, NVIDIA put was something which was way out of the league for a lot of people, right? So the thing is you can select your own this one based on your understanding actually, but that is the alert what we recommend. Say that is option we recommend based on this decision. So this is the basic flow, to be very honest. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be able to answer the questions.
Hi, Avinash. This is Kada. Yeah, your alerts are very good. but only thing my observation is like by the time we kick off, like even within 1 or 2 minutes itself, most of the time it is reaching the targets. So is there any other way or modify, like do to get them more time frame kind of thing?
Yeah, so that's what, right? Like, so you say, for example, we get an alert, right? So right now, this is the flow, but, we are working towards automating this actually. Say, for example, once we decide, instead of putting the alert, we are trying to automate it as well, actually. So the thing is like, that is still in this one. So for
Okay.
example, we are doing simulation. But yeah, so we are trying to automate it so that, we can go ahead with that. So that is one thing we are doing. But for your question, right? Say, as I mentioned, right? So whenever you hit the target, please ignore it because, these alerts, whatever you take, it might be a bottom fishing actually, or, or tops, slap. That's what we call it actually. So the thing is, we cannot predict the market. Say, for example, let me see if it has fit flow. Yeah. Don't see a free flow. But anyway, so what I was trying to say is like, let me just try to see. Okay. So what I was trying to say is like, if you have a zigzag, for example, in the market, right? So if you try to chase, you might, lose the trade actually. So for example, for some reason, I'm not able to. So whatever we have is basically a scanner to, take the bottom fishing or top scalp. That's what we call top slab. So that's what we call it actually. So it might not last for a longer time as well. So that's the reason we don't, suggest people to go ahead and take the trade if it has hit the target. So you can wait for the next trade. But anyway, so once we have this ready, then I think everyone can, just plug in their broker. It might be TDA or, VBOOM. That's two brokers whatever we support right now. So once we have that, that would be great. But otherwise, if it has hit the target, please don't take it.
Sure. Thanks, Avinash.
So that is the first thing. So whenever you see that, alert, by the time if it has hit the target, please ignore it. So it's fine because the thing is like, we don't expect people to stick onto their Telegram and waiting for the trades, right? So that happens most of the times. So don't chase it. That's my this one. So there is another chance, see, for example, when I get a target, alert. So the thing is like, that, for example, most of the times what we see is when we get an alert, the stock will already be at the peak. So say, for example, let me give a recent example itself, right? So NVIDIA put, that is something which we got. So if you really see the alert and the stock price, it was already down a bit. So it did bounce back. And, so it was, to be very honest, in negative, the holding, right? The next day it started dropping a lot. So there is a chance, if you want to really take a trade, you can try to see if you can just take a 15 minutes or 5 minutes time frame and see the resistance. So if there are no stock price at the resistance, you can try to get a option there. You can see, still use the same stop loss as well. So it goes similar for the call as well. Say, for example, you get a call, it will drop down and then it will start bouncing back. So in the drop point, wherever you are fine, you can take a support level and then you can take an option as well. So, yep. Any other questions, guys?
Avinash, a follow-up question on this. So when, when the trade is there, right? So it has a buyer and sellers. So your input usually is closer to the buyer rather than the seller. So at that point in time, and the target will be closer to the sellers. And what would that scenario? I mean, how will we fix that scenario in general?
So usually, if you take the, trades, whatever we, alerts, whatever we post, right?
Yeah.
Usually, the thing is like, we have a fixed target of 15%. So there is nothing, if you just see the alerts and the target, right? So we have a fixed target of 15%. So that 15% we reached into a conclusion based on, 2 years of, observation. Say, for example, when I take a trade, so what is the level of, increase I can see from my trade? So that has been captured from past 2 years. And we decided that, 15% was the optimal point for the, target. So if you want, you can just, set a basic target for yourself as 10%, for example, right? So that's what I usually recommend everyone. So you can have your internal target as well. Say, for example, 10%, and then some stocks at 15%. So that is something which you can do as well.
No,
Because-
that's right. So my
Mhm.
question is like, I mean, let's say there is a trade. So where there are buyer, I mean, there is a lot of variation between buyers and sellers. So
Mhm.
let's say you gave a target of 52 and 59.
Okay.
Okay. So my buyers are at 52. So that though I place the trade at 52, it won't get picked up because there are a lot of buyers at 52, but my sellers are at 59. So it's not between anywhere so that I can pull the target. But might be then if I try 55, I might get the target, but 59. Let's say your target is 62 or something. So my buy would at that point be 59 rather than 52 or 53.
Got it, actually. So that's what I was just explaining here, right? So we don't, really give out some trades like that. And if you see it has already, passed the buy price, skip the trade actually. That's what the same thing, right? Like which I was discussing. So
Yeah,
because
I understood that, but question here is the buy price, right? Would be there are a lot of buyers in that, but it won't get triggered because more sellers are at the different price. And so variation is huge. That's where I'm like coming from. I mean,
got
yeah.
it.
Because let's
Yeah.
say there is a trade for 50 cents. So you gave a call for 50. There are buyers at 50, but the asking price of the sellers is 55.
No, so that's what I'm trying to say. So that will never happen because we rule out that trade right away.
Okay.
So we rule out the trade right away because we don't get the wide spreads, as I was mentioning in the earlier stage as well. Because if you take a wide spread, that is, for sure you are going to lose the, trade if it goes the other way. Because, you will have to, the thing is like, your stop loss will hit even before you take the trade actually. In the sense like, if you, before you reach, at least 50% of the target. So that's the reason, in this option decision itself, we will rule that out.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, not a problem. So, yeah. There's any other questions, guys?
One question, Avinash, you said like just now that it can be connected to trade TD or any other broker, right? So is it available or it's still in work in progress?
So that is available, but the problem is like, we are not able to scale up. Say, for example, the same thing you were asking, right? Say, for example, I will trigger a buy price. So it has to go to everyone parallelly. And there is no, the volatility, right? The options volatility. So once we have this trade going in, so we are not able to get the same trade for everyone.
Okay.
So the price is varying just because of the volatility, and that is for the thing is like, even the coding whatever we are doing, it's not scaling up actually. In the sense like, it is taking some delay to go to the next person. Say, for example, I have 10 people. So all the 10 people parallelly is something which we are trying to achieve. So once that is achieved, I think that should be fine. For now, yes, a single account, it is working well.
Okay. Yeah, so but if somebody has a direct access to the API, then does it not trigger that way rather than scaling it? I know it's like, I mean, giving up the code part, like I'm scaling it in that way.
So we did think about that, right? Like, a lot of people does that, they will give their client to install on any of the box. And then using that client, they will try to connect to the API.
Okay.
So, but the problem there is the alerts again, right? So the network delay. So the thing is, like, I have to send a message to my client, and internet has to, post a message to TD API, for example, or, Webull API, right? So Webull doesn't have the official API, to be very honest. It's unofficial API. People are just putting in Git and other places, and we have built a wrapper around it actually. But TD is the only broker along with this one. TDA and TradeStation is another one, or TradeEar is another one. So TradeEar doesn't have options, unfortunately. So TradeStation, the API cost is really high. So IB is another one which is really good, and we are planning to integrate with IB as well. The only problem there is again the client. So they force you to install their software on your box to get the trades.
Okay.
So that's where, for now we are trying to figure out the problems and trying to see if we can overcome the challenges. Yeah, for TDA and Webull, it is working seamlessly.
Okay, sure, thanks.
So Avinash, one question. So these bots, right? Are these? I mean, is there a subscription plan for these, or how do you get access to them? And then other thing is, you can add your own tickers, or it has a predefined set of tickers that it runs and spits out the alerts.
Got it, actually. So yeah, these bots or alerts, right? It's already posted in ThinkSubio options alert actually. So it comes along with the ThinkSubio subscription, right? So we are not charging any extra this one for that actually. That is one thing. The second thing was regarding the sorry, please repeat the second question.
The second question was like, does it have a predefined set of tickers, or you can add your own tickers? So for example, I mean, the ThinkSubio list might be different from my list, or does it have all the stocks or the liquid stocks? Because for the options you need more liquidity, right? So
that is true. Yeah, for now, we have defined the predefined stocks based on the volatility and the market cap. But there is a option where you can plug in your own as well. But for now, we are not opening up that option because right now, whatever we have the predefined and predefined stock from past 2 years, we have the data for that. So that's where we are not opening it for this one. But yeah, so there is an option to define your own stocks as well.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm thinking right now it's gonna be like Nasdaq 100 or the top stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD, like those kind of stocks, and same for every sector like healthcare and industrial.
Yeah, that is true. So what we did is we got an export of all the stocks which are optionable and which has weeklies, because the stocks with monthlies, right? They have widespread actually. So the thing is it will anyway get scammed, say, it's rejected here. So that's the reason what we did is we are taking only the stocks which are optionable and which has weeklies.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Avinash, these boards are only for options or also for stocks?
We do have for stocks. So the thing is I wanted to post it. So right now what we are doing is we are using TDA for options and Webull for stocks. I will try to find a way to post it in ThinkSubio alert as well. So for that I have to write a different wrapper. I will do that actually. So at least from next week you should be able to see that.
Okay.
So I think.
So Avinash, does this bots work for earnings also, or they are more like lotos? Like, can they predict the earnings data as well? Since you have the data for 2 years, right?
Yeah. No. The 2 year data. So the thing is, like, we have access to data for more than 2 years. So when I said, like, 2 years, it's based on our observation, because before we, started trimming the bot. Say, for example, when we started the pro algorithm, right? So our success rate was not at all really good, actually. So what we did is, like, we thought, like, we will trim it down. So the thing is, like, add up, decisions, and add the rules whenever, what to, this, I mean, say, it's a decision factor, right? So we started adding the rules one by one for, past 2 years, and we gathered all the information and we started putting into different databases. Say, for example, if I go with these set of rules, what would be my win rate? So if I go with these set of rules, what would be my win rate? So instead of, doing a back trace, we started doing the future trace, actually, in the sense, like, do it, in a proper way. So the thing is, like, we could do it with a back trace as well, but we didn't wanted to do it. So what we did is, like, and to be very honest, fortunately, we got a very good, volatility as well, due to COVID and other factors. So we did take all those things into factor, and we finally, figured out, this set of decisions is something which is going to give us a very good success rate. And that's what, when I said, like, 2 years, that is the data which we did, actually.
Right. So I do understand that the earnings are by prelims, right? I mean, things can go either north or south depending on the results. Can these bots also help at least project some sort of direction for earnings?
Yeah, it does, actually. So we have built up a different bot for earnings. It does say, let me see if I can share this. So the thing is, like, we do have, sorry, I don't know if I can share this. But yeah, so we do have a bot which does give you the direction of a stock, and so I think that should be fine. So we are building this one here, bot commands. So if you just go and say, for example, I want AMD, it will give you the direction of the stock. So it's the same workflow, whatever you have. So instead of, telling you which option to buy, it will give you the recommendation as well, and the preferred option to buy as well. So similarly for ER as well, we do have a bot which will, predict whether it is going to go up or down. Right now, the win rate of that is, around 60 to 65%. That's the reason we are not, adding it to alerts.
Right. So one last question. So is there any future plans, like where you will have the web interface or something for these bots? Like if I'm interested in a stock, I can go and query and check the direction for that. Not to get the source code or anything infringe on the privacy of the ThinkSavvy, but just in case, like, would I be able to serve myself in the future? Is that also in the plans or not at this point?
Yeah, it is in the plans, actually, yes. So we are planning for, if possible, a web interface and mobile app as well.
Okay. Thank you, Avinash.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, Avinash, this is Kaga. I have one more question. Is the bots work for the futures as well?
Futures, yes, it does work, actually. And to be very honest, the success rate is really high. So that's something which is, we are not able to digest. So we are not, that's the reason we are not keeping it this one. So we are trying to see if we can, give out a free, indicator for futures based on this one. Right now, it's in progress.
I think we lost you, Avinash.
Yeah, I think we lost him. He was saying he's in India, maybe bad connection.
give it as a so we are just trying to see if we can give it as a Thinkorswim or any other indicator, so people can start using it actually. So did I answer the question?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Avinash.
Any other questions, guys? So yeah, I think if there are no other questions, so I'll be there in Telegram, so you can ping me. Or sorry for this short notice, but yeah, I will try to see if I can get a scheduled one with proper this one.
Thank you, Avinash, for your time.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. Have a good day.